Good evening, lovely tubers. White Mexican back for a reshoot of my collection showcasing here of my personal collector's cards. This is going to be for my Magic cards, and we're just going to go ahead and get right into this for you guys. So first is going to be a first edition ultimate rare copy of Serial Spell. This is dawning out of the very nostalgic Generation 1 13th core set Rise of Destiny. Moving on to some other ultimate rares here, we have first edition ultimate rare copies of Inzektor Sword. These are all first editions. And then we have a playset of first edition ultimate rare Night Beam from, I think it's Galactic Overload, I believe it was, if I'm remembering correctly. Secret Rare First Edition Exchange from Legendary Collection Yugi's World. First Edition Raigeki from Legendary Joey's World. First Edition Foolish Burial from Legendary Collection Joey's World. And a First Edition Secret Rare Pot of Avarice from Joey's World. Set these over here. Moving on to some Harpies Feather Dusters. We have a Standard Secret Rare First Edition from Legendary Collection Yugi's World. And then we have the Prismatic Secret Rares from Stairway to Destiny Duel, I believe was the Sierra Delta Delta here. And these are all Magic stamped, which is pretty awesome. So we got several of those. I had been collecting these well before it got removed from the Forbidden and Limited list. So as you can tell, I've got quite a few of those. I'm really happy that card came back. Next is going to be some Secret Rare First Edition variants of Card Destruction from Legendary Collection Yugi's World. We have 2 copies of that. Then we have a playset of First Edition Secret Rare, I believe it's Dark Illusion, Pot of Desires. And then we're going to get into some Shared Rides. I really like Shared Ride. One, just because it's an amazing card in general. It's a quick play. It's got some great versatility to it, but the artwork is amazing. I mean, we got one of the demons from Delinquent Duo, we have Graceful Charity, and we have Sangan right here, and you got like the Tour Bus, Dark Realms, Underworld looking stuff. It's just really cool. So these are all the original first edition, and for some reason this is coming through the bottom. I don't know why that kind of unfortunate that I guess this top loader broke. So that's kind of unfortunate. Might have to find. Anyway, so I'll have to replace this later anyway, so we're gonna just go ahead and set that over here. So again, these are all the original first edition secrets from the core booster set, not the Mega 10 reprints. And then we have some Gold Series 2 gold sarcophagus. 4 copies of those. They really did Gold Series right. I really like the gold. It's just like a hint blend of gold. Little splash gold, looks really, really nice. 2008, 2009 Gold Series, where they did gold really well, in my personal opinion. Very aesthetically pleasing. Next are not ultimate rares, unfortunately, but placeholders. I have first edition ultra rare Solar Recharge. I'm a big Lightsworn fan, so these are the highest rarity that I have for now, until I can find a way to get some ultimate rares first edition. But Light of Destruction original ultra rare first editions, and then these are actually Dark Beginning 1 Ultra Rares. You can see they have the spell stamp here. They are not the Spell Ruler, the Magic Ruler variants. The original prints are the reprinted Dark Beginnings, which are pretty cool. So those are pretty nice. Next we have a couple more super rares here. We have an original print Legacy of Darkness First Edition Magic Stamp Reinforcement of the Army. We have Necro Valley. These are actually spell stamped because they're the Dark Revelations 1 copies. These 3 are all Dark Revelations. And then these are Magic stamped original first edition Front Guardian on the rest of those. And then we're getting into Forbidden Lands. I really love the artwork on this and like the whole lore story. I don't know if you guys know much about Yu-Gi-Oh lore, but the lore story behind the Forbidden cards is really, really cool. These are all first edition super rares from Storm of Ragnarok, I believe, was the set. This was a really good card back in the day too, like a long, long time ago. Still a pretty cool card. And next to me, Forbidden Scripture. So this card is really terrible. No one would ever play this card. It's just an old, not really an old school secret rare, but it's a forbidden secret rare card. It's got really cool artwork, I think. And these are just like super cheap, and I just picked these up in bulk just because they were so affordable for the original first edition secrets. And again, I just like the lore behind it, and it's got really cool artwork, and it's a secret rare, their first edition, near mint, all that good stuff. As you can see, I have plenty of those. So more of a collectability purpose for artwork on that one. And this is actually a misprint. This is pretty cool. I'll try to get a zoom in for you guys. So this is a original print unlimited Snake Rain, but it has secret rare hollow foiling on the name. I actually picked this up on a trade. I believe it was here in Syracuse, New York, if I'm not mistaken. I've had this for quite some time. But it's a cool little misprint. I'm not a big misprint collector, but I have a few onesie twosies here, and this is one of them. So it's unfortunate that's unlimited. It would have been a lot cooler if it was first edition, but nonetheless, still a neat little misprint. Next is going to be some rares. So we have Exile of the Wicked, and this is from Tournament Pack 4 as a rare. And then we have the rest of these. I've got a lot of them because they were very affordable and still relatively affordable, if I'm not mistaken. These are the original Magic stamped Legacy of Darkness Generation 1 after Genocide. So if you guys know, there's a cool story behind the censorship of this card. It was renamed as After Struggle for the censored variants, but the original Magic stamped prints were after Genocide. So for some reason, Konami decided to censor Genocide out of the TCG for us. And you know, have a lot of these are all first edition originals. Surprisingly enough, the reprinted censored variant, the spell variants, maybe they may have some unlimited Magic ones as well, but the After Struggle ones, they're like really expensive for some reason. I don't know, they're like super like mad short printed, or I'm not really sure why, but these are very affordable, which is interesting. These are original prints, they're older, and they're the uncensored variants, but the censored variants are a lot more money, and I just don't really know why that is, but it's just kind of like how the market is right now for this card. So I thought that was kind of interesting. All right, so moving on here, we're gonna go ahead and move into this next part. We're gonna get into some banned Magic cards. I have a lot of these, so we're gonna go ahead and put these up. So these are all first edition original print Magic stamped. I'm sorry, I'm like, it's hard to see my camera, so I'm kind of, that's why I'm like shifting over to the left. I gotta move over to the right here to be more center mass. So first edition Magic stamp Confiscations, very much a banned card, very much Gen 1 nostalgia, amazing, really cool artwork. I love like the evil Sith looking eyes on the armored soldier here, which is really cool. And we just have tons of these. I'm a huge avid collector of Gen 1 stuff, and no limitation against banned cards. I don't care if it's banned, if it's first edition, if it's old, if it's hollow foil, I'm gonna get it. And as you can see, Confiscation is a card that I just really appreciate, and that's why I have so many that I've collected. And you know, over time, these just continue to articulate some really great value, so that's always fun. All right, next is going to be Gravekeeper's Servant. So these are original Magic stamped Magic Ruler first edition copies. And another cool story about this card was this also had a censorship. So the first run prints They actually had the crucifixes and the crosses. If you can kind of see, I'll try to zoom up for you. They actually have the crucifix crosses, and then they got censored out to just normal, like, tombstone. There's a couple other sets. This isn't the only set that has the uncensored artwork. There, I think Dark Beginnings and maybe one other common variant had the uncensored ship as well, but after those sets it got censored. So really cool, fun little combo. So when I actually came back in the game in 2011, there's this combo that I would play with Fisher, Dimensional Fisher, Macrocosmos. You basically lock your opponent out from being able to attack, which is, you know, fun little troll card, little combo. All right, next is going to be Graceful Charity. So these are the Parallel Ultra rares from Hobby League 4. These look really, really great. I love the aesthetics on these. I don't know, I really like these a lot. It's unfortunate that we got the censored artwork variant in the OCG in Japan. They very much got halos, which is really, really cool. And of course, you know, you got cardboard on cardboard artwork on this, which is really nice. So really like that card. I have some first edition secret variants from the infamous legendary collection Yugi's World. Huge fan of that set, so have to support. And we have some Prismatic Exchanges. So these are the Prismatic Exchanges from, let's see, it says EDS. So I don't remember what game promo that was, but these are all Magic Stamp Prismatic Secrets from that game promo. I think it was like a Game Boy or a PlayStation game, if I'm not mistaken. I think I have some more here, and then there's one more. Okay, next is going to be some Ghost Gold Hybrid MSTs. So this was Gold Series 5, which was Haunted Mine. If I'm not mistaken, we have 5 copies. This was the only Ghost Gold, or the Ghost, very much, it's Ghost Gold Blend Hybrid, but it's still very much a Ghost. Ghost of the Past 2, the second Haunting, produced Ayatamias in Ghost Rare, but before that production, MST was the only card in the TCG to be printed in a Ghost variant, which is really, really cool, highly collectible in my personal opinion. Solemn Judgment still to the day stands alone as the only Ghost Rare trap card though, which is really cool. Then we have some original OGs here. So these are the Magic Stamped Magic Ruler First Edition Ultra Rares. I really, really love the artwork on these. These look really, really cool. I think I just have a playset of those. This one, unfortunately, is in pretty banged up condition, but the other two are about lightly played. So really, really awesome artwork. Great nostalgic Generation 1 card there. We have some Magepower. These are original First Edition Ultra Rares from Labyrinth of Nightmare. Really awesome soup up card back in the day. Of course, these are all, you know, original Magic stamped. Monster Reincarnation, Rise of Destiny, First Edition Supers. So unfortunately, they're not the Ultimates. I really do want to get some Ultimates eventually, but these are just going to be some placeholders until I get the Ultimates because they are relatively competitive to get and they're quite pricey. Butterfly Dagger Elma. So this card is still banned if I'm not mistaken. There was a combo with Gear Fear the Iron Knight, a loop that I'm pretty sure was the reason that got this card forbidden quite some time ago. And then we have a playset of Dedication Through Light and Darkness. These are First Edition Super Rares from the very infamous IOC, Invasion of Chaos, and those are pretty cool. Next we have some E-Controllers. These are actually Super Rares from Dark Beginning. I'm sorry, not Dark Beginning, Dark Revelation. Almost made that mistake in my last video, or did make that mistake in the last video. These are Dark Revelation 2 Super Rare variants, and these are actually going for some pretty heavy coin right now. So, and I actually picked these up very affordably. These were part of the collection that I picked up that had Tournament Pack Super Rare Royal Decrees, which is one of my all-time favorite trap cards, especially TP Super Hollow Foils, so it was really cool. Some more Magic Stamped Generation 1 Legacy of Darkness First Edition Rotas. So really cool. We have, I'm forgetting his name, the level 3 from Legacy of Darkness. can't believe I'm blanking. I'm getting old. White Mexican's getting old, ladies and gentlemen. I can't remember the name now. We have a first edition Magic stamped LOB Regeki Super Rare. Unfortunately, this is Asian English, so you wouldn't really know until you flip it over to the back and you can see the Japanese kanji here. So that's the only real identifier. Maybe a little bit for like hardcore collectors, like a little different tone in the color, but other than that, almost identical to the original English Generation 1 first editions. We have a Champion Pack 8 Super Rare Dimensional Fisher here. And this is another Necrophaly, first edition Magic Stamp Chronic Guardian, super rare. And we have Graceful Charity, so these are the very first print runs, Magic Stamp, Starter Deck Pegasus, first edition variants. We have quite a few of these. This, like Confiscation, I think is probably one of the bulkier banned forbidden Magic cards that I have here. Interesting enough, Starter Deck Pegasus was the very first Yu-Gi-Oh product I ever had as a kid. My friend's brother drove me in his Mustang a long time ago. It's probably 2003, 2002, probably more like 2002. Drove me over to, I don't even remember what the store was, but I picked up a copy of Starter Deck Pegasus, so set's really significant to me, really important, holds a lot of memories to me. And of course, this is one of the holofoils from that original Generation 1 product. So, and it's just an amazing card, and it's a very infamous banned card, so really cool stuff. Next is going to be Swords Revealing Light. These are parallel ultra rares from Hobby League 4. Have a couple of these, playset, 2 playsets, 3 playsets on those. Always love these parallel ultras from Hobby League. The square foiling, it's really cool. Next is going to be some more banned cards, the Forceful Sentry. These are original Magic stamped Magic Ruler first edition variants. Really cool on that. And then we have a single copy of the original Magic stamped Magic Ruler Snatch and Steal. This is another one of my all-time favorite banned cards. It's really awesome that we got Change of Heart back to 1 recently off the list. This card came off for 1 format and then it got immediately banned the very next format, so it's really unfortunate, but really love the artwork on this and I really like this card a lot. We have a single copy of Cost Down. This is actually not the Dark Crisis original print, this is the Dark Revelations 1 reprint. And then we have a Creature Swap. This is the original Magic Stamp first edition Legacy of Darkness. Really like the artwork on this one as well. We have Dimension Fusion. This is Invasion of Chaos first edition. Another really great infamous banned card. United We Stand. This is a first edition Magic Stamped Labyrinth of Nightmare. Really cool, old school, ultra rare. And then we have some first edition ultimate rare Seesock Crossroad of Chaos Infamous Black Rose set, Mark of the Black Rose. So this is like a washed down Snatch and Steal essentially for plant decks. I love the artwork on this. The artwork is just like immaculate. I really love the aesthetics of this card. Reminds me of like a female version of Vampire Lord. And it's just an old school ultimate rare. And again, Seesock is just one of those awesome old school, I believe it was a 5D set if I'm not mistaken. And of course we have Dark World Dealings first edition ultimate rares from, I believe it was Strike of Neos, I believe is what STON is. And we have 5 copies of those. So I'm an adamant Dark World fan. I love Dark World so much. It was one of the first main decks that I picked up coming back into the game in 2011. And yeah, just all around really great stuff. So just missing 1 more copy to have 2 play sets, but really proud about these first edition ultimate rare copies. These are very expensive cards. And next is going to be some Rise of Destiny Ultimate Rares, Triangle, Ecstasy, Spark. So these aren't in the best condition. I actually bought these off Facebook from another player, and unfortunately they weren't very accurate with their evaluation of conditioning. I bought them as lightly played, or I don't remember if it was even near mint, but they're lightly played at best, like at very, very best, being very, very generous to even put them at lightly played, because they do have some really, really bad edges. But a lesson learned all around, an amazing, amazing card. Well, at least artwork wise, it's got the Harpies ladies stuff, Harpies girls, whatever you want to call them. Old school ultimate rare, first edition, part of Generation 1, first 13 core sets, Rise of Destiny, really cool stuff. Next is going to be a Deutsch German European Elemental Energy original print, first edition ultimate rare, Pot of Avarice, which is interesting enough. I actually picked this up in Osaka, Japan. So I used to be in the military, and I was stationed in Japan for a couple years, and when I visited Osaka several times, an amazing city, I actually picked up this and several other pretty high rarity European German cards, which was really cool. Next is going to be Guard Penalty. So this isn't a good card or anything. I just love the artwork on this. It's a old school ultimate rare from Enemy of Justice, first edition. So I just collect these specifically for the ultimate first, because I just really like the artwork. Allure Darkness, ultimate rare, Phantom Darkness, ultimate rare, cardboard on cardboard, really awesome stuff. Quite an expensive card nowadays. Pot of the Greedy is going to be the next, good old greediness in a pot, and these are all first edition, or I'm sorry, not first edition, these are all super rares from Dark Beginning 1. Getting greedy with the greed. And then we have first edition secret rares from Legendary Collection Joey's World. Have a playset of Secret Greed here. Looks really cool. And then we have the infamous Ultimate Rares. Highest rarity that we have here in the TCG. Ultimate first editions from Duelist Pack Kaiba. I'm really, really proud of these. These are quite pricey nowadays. This card is probably one of the most infamous ban cards of all time, at least for Magic cards, and the sheer fact that they printed this in Ultimate Rare. It's got that deep maroon holofoiling Ultimate Rare foils. It's just really, really great, and that, you know, it's Kaiba. Kaiba's in Generation 1, old school, awesome anime character. And then we have a single copy of the OG Legend of Blue Eyes White Dragon Magic Stamped original first edition. I have a couple unlimiteds of these, but they're just not they're not first edition, so they're not in this showcasing. So one OG, these are actually quite pricey even for lightly played first editions for the original Magic Stamped LBs. Toon World Super Rares Magic Stamped Magic Ruler first edition. Really, really awesome artwork. I love Toon stuff. Toon stuff is terrible. I don't think it's a good deck. It's never really been a good deck. Sorry, Toon players. It's just not gonna happen for you guys, fortunately, unfortunately. But this amazing artwork, again, Star Deck Pegasus was my first Yu-Gi-Oh product ever purchased, and you know, Toons are from Maximus Pegasus, old school anime character, so really cool stuff. Again, first edition super rares from Magic Ruler, Magic Stamped, just phenomenal artwork. Love the coloring, love the artwork. This also has the crucifix cross grave markings too, but they've always kind of had that, so it's not really a big deal. Sanctuary in the Sky is going to be next. So this is actually a Deutsch European. These are all from first Auflage, first edition, and Ancient Sanctuary. So super rare first editions from Ancient Sanctuary. It's kind of interesting that you see like the crazy color differentiation. Like these ones are more like that Generation 1 greenish hint to them, and then this one is very much a lot more blue. I don't know if my camera's really picking up that differentiation on these, but this one's a lot more blue, and these are more like kind of like a green mint cream. Next is going to be super rare first edition copies of Dark Room of Nightmare, so Pharaonic Guardian. You have a playset of those. I think the last time this saw play was, I think there was like a Trickster. There was a tech card for Trickster. Is it Trickster or Trickstar? Anyway, that fairy deck. Next will be Giant Trene. These are first edition Magic stamped Magic Ruler. Super rares. Really, really love this card. Can't wait for this card to get unbanned. Again, White Mexican Theory, I believe it's not a matter of if something gets unbanned. I think it's just a matter of when it gets unbanned, if Konami gives it an errata. I'm really proud about these. These are actually pretty difficult to get first editions, and they're getting up there in price. Very, very old, so really like those a lot. Huge zombie player, so we have to have our first edition Magic stamped Pharaonic Guardian super rare Book of Lives. I'm borderline obsessed with Egyptian stuff. I really, really love Egyptian styled stuff, and obviously like original Yu-Gi-Oh was based off of Egyptian styled stuff. And Anubis is my favorite Egyptian god. He's pretty cool. He's a total baddie, and he reminds me of like a Doberman. I could swear that Anubis is based off of a Doberman pincer dog. They look very, very similar. Okay, and then card structure. These are the original Magic Stamp starter deck Yugi. So 2002 Generation 1 starter deck Yugi, first edition Magic Stamp. Really, really cool. I love the artwork on artwork, cardboard on cardboard artwork on these. Really, really awesome. So a couple copies of those. Next is Mirage of Nightmare. This is very much banned still, if I'm not mistaken. Magic Stamp, first edition, super rares from Pharaonic Guardian. We have a couple more here. A lot more here. And so again, I believe that's zombie support, if I'm remembering. It's been quite some time since I've read that card. Painful Choice is going to be next. So this is actually really, really cool. This is from Magic Ruler. You can see here it says MRL, so the set name is Magic Ruler. But it was during a transition period. I'm not really sure how this worked besides, I mean, assuming that, yes, it was during the transition period when Konami was transferring from Magic Ruler to Spell Ruler. But it says Spell Card here, and then it says Magic Ruler here, MRL, which is really, really cool. So this card was at like a very unique transition point. I only have one copy of these. I've never seen anyone else that has a copy like this that has both markings from the two different sets, which I think is really cool. It's unfortunate that's not first edition. Maybe these particular era ones or these transition ones didn't come first edition. I'm not sure, but I would really like to pick up more of these. I haven't found any. So if you guys have one, or if you've seen someone who has a copy like this, where it has the spell stamp and also the Magic Ruler set, let me know, because I would really like to pick more of these up. I think it's really, really cool. And then we have the original Magic stamped Magic Ruler first edition copies here. These are getting quite pricey now. I really love the artwork on these, the sheer desperation and anguish is really awesome in this artwork. Old school Yu-Gi-Oh artwork here, very much Gen 1, and I'm totally cutting everything off, so I gotta remember to move up. So a couple copies of those original first edition Magic Supers. Just really, really great artwork on this. Again, all of those old school band cards from Magic Ruler just have really, really cool artwork. And to finish it off here for you guys, it's going to be Scapegoat. So these are all Magic stamped first edition starter deck Joey, which was the very first print that we had of Scapegoat. So what's going on with this? This is like crazy cracked. Are you guys seeing this? It's insane. I'm just going to set that over here, so I'll have to replace that later. What's going on with these made in China top loaders? Gotta be careful these days. Okay, so yes, and then that's gonna wrap it up for that. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. If you've enjoyed this content, please share it with someone that you believe will also enjoy it. I hope you guys are making some fantastic Yu-Gi-Oh investments yourself. This has been a showcasing by The White Mexican, and I will see you in the next video.